Hi everyone, it's Tammy from Nutmeg Notebook. I'm going to apologize in advance for my voice. So I've been sick for a few days, but I was actually feeling really good today. And just within the last hour, I started to lose my voice. But we had already said we were going live, so the show must go on, as they say, right? Thank you guys so much for being here. We really appreciate it. This is what we're making today. So I made a pot of this Mexican quinoa, black bean, and corn. It's kind of like a casserole, I guess, earlier today, so that in case it doesn't get done before our hour is up. So I wanted you to be able to see what it looks like when it's done.
I did taste test it.
Yeah, we both did. And it kind of curbed my appetite for lunch then. I couldn't eat my lunch, even though I made my big, beautiful chopped salad. But we're going to show you all about that. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Kay. How's Bill? It's so good to see so many people on here already.
Oh, I got to catch up. I was hanging out at the top of the...
Janice, Diane, Jessie from Santa Cruz. I bet it's beautiful in Santa Cruz.
Yeah, her sore throat, Jessie was asking about pain.
Yeah.
That was a couple days ago.
I had 4 days of a very severe sore throat and really no other symptoms other than a headache.
It was really quiet around here.
And then did you enjoy it? And then I started feeling a little bit better yesterday. And I got up this morning and I thought, oh, my throat doesn't hurt. I'm feeling better. And my voice was kind of grovelly. And I was talking to my mom on the phone this morning and I said, gosh, I kind of feel like I sound like an old smoker. And I've never smoked in my life. And she said, no, you're fine. But like an hour ago, my voice just started to go.
Well, take a sip of tea. And,
yeah,
let's talk about
I've been drinking tea.
Beanwah. I did put up the official title of this, Mexican quinoa, but what we really call it, and Tammy's going to explain, is we call it Beanwah here.
We do, but we'll get to that. So if you're new to our channel, I'm Tammy.
And I'm Tom.
And we have a blog called Nutmeg Notebook, where we show you guys how to cook, recipes, how to batch cook, and give you tips and pointers if you're following a whole food, plant-based, oil-free diet. We're also very low sodium and we don't eat sugar. I can't really say that we're salt-free because we do eat some condiments sometimes that have a little bit of salt, but we're very, very low sodium. And we try to buy most products, we try to buy that don't have salt in them.
Before you dive in, let's talk a little bit about how we manage questions on the feed.
Yes.
And the one has come up already from Sylvia, which we'll come back around to, but I'll actually tell this so we can save your voice a bit.
Go ahead,
as Sylvia just did, if you do 4 question marks at the beginning of your question and then 4 question marks at the end, so that when we get towards the end,
there goes the light.
When we get towards the end or through the cooking part here, we'll do some Q&A and I'll scroll back up through the feed and be able to spot those question marks bracketing your question. That really helps us not overlook you. We do go back through the feed. If we miss something, then we'll make comments on or you can repost the question yourself in the comments after the video is done. So yeah, if you would please do that, that would really help us out in finding you and getting to your question. Mm-hmm. So Tammy, I'm gonna actually come back around to the camera at a point here when she gets started so you can kind of see what's going on inside the pot. So go ahead and jump in though. What do you have in front of you here?
Okay, great. Well, I want you to know that I am doing a blog post. I was hoping to have it finished before we went on air, but it's not finished yet. We'll have it up by tomorrow where there will be a printable recipe. But I will give you all of the measurements today. So if you want to make it yet today or tomorrow before I get it posted, you'll be able to do that. So I also want to let you know that we have a new pressure cooker. This is the Milthy 2.0 multi-cooker, and it's a slow cooker. You can do yogurt in it, you can saute in it, you can steam in it, you can pressure cook in it.
Yeah, I'll be going over all of those details after the recipe is put together and we're waiting for it to cook.
So we are affiliates with the Milthy Company, and they contacted us and told us about the new 2.0 that they were making, and did we want to try it? And we said absolutely. So they sent this to us a couple days ago, and I did use it this morning because I wanted to see how it works, and it's great. And so we are demonstrating it, and then later Tom will show you what's new and different about it. So what I already did was I pushed the button for saute. That's a really nice thing. It's one pot cooking, which I love. So with that saute function, that allows you to saute onions or peppers or garlic, or, you know, if you want to heat up your spices before you start the rest of the recipe, you can do that. And so I have just a little bit of vegetable broth here. This is the Engine 2 vegetable broth that I buy at Whole Foods, and I buy it because it's the lowest sodium. It doesn't have any added sodium. It does have 35 milligrams of sodium per cup, but that is the natural sodium that is in the vegetables, and you can see that it's hot, it's steaming, and so that heated up really quickly.
Here, I set your...
And now I'm going to, thank you, honey. Now I'm going to add 1 cup of onions. Tom's going to go back behind the camera, but when he comes back around on this side, then we will get to your questions, to answer your questions for you. So I've just got that onion in there and just a little bit of broth because we are oil free, but you don't have to have oil to saute your onions, and they'll still, you can even caramelize them and get beautiful caramelization on onions without using oil, believe it or not. There's a lot of moisture in the onions themselves, and so they'll release their moisture while they're cooking. And I have made this recipe without putting the onions in on a saute first when I was just really in a rush, and that works too. But if you do saute them first, it kind of takes the bite out of the onion, you know, that the onion has. And so it's kind of nice to, if you have the time, go ahead and saute them. But if you don't have the time, don't worry about it. You could throw everything in here and turn it on and walk away, and it would still be delicious. It's just a little tweaking that is kind of nice. And so Tom started to tell you that we have a story about why this is called Beanwah, and I'm going to tell you that while the onions are cooking. So in the fall, we gave our son, he's an adult, we gave him a pressure cooker for his birthday. And I said, I know you don't know how to use it, so why don't you and your girlfriend come over on a Saturday or a Sunday, I can't remember which day of the week it was, but on the weekend, and we'll do a cooking session with you guys and show you how easy it is. So they set a date and came over, and we showed them, you know, like 3 different recipes that we could make in it, and they got to sample everything. We had dinner from what we made, and oh, it was so much fun. We had a great time in the kitchen. And then they were telling me about this recipe that they had found on the internet that they were making frequently, and they had dubbed it Beanwah, and that's because it was quinoa and black beans in it. And those were a couple items that they always had in their pantry. And so it had become their go-to recipe for something quick and easy after working all day. And they get home at 6:30 and, you know, you don't really feel like cooking. And so I said, well, why don't you text me that recipe when you get home? And I will convert it to the pressure cooker so that you guys can make it even easier because you won't have to stand and watch it. So these were just getting a little bit dry because I'm talking a lot. And so I just added a little bit more of the vegetable broth. And this is starting to smell really good. They're starting to look a little bit translucent. And I don't want to brown them for this recipe. I really just want to soften them and just get them cooking a little bit. So that was a cup of onions. You can use a cup to a cup and a half. It's just I happen to have a cup. And so that's what I used. This is 4 garlic cloves that I have minced. And so those are going to go in. And then I have one jalapeno, and I did de-seed it, so I just cut it open, and then I used a teaspoon to scrape out the seeds and the membrane, because that's really where all the heat is. The green part has lots of nice flavor, but it's not necessarily really hot. And if you don't like jalapenos, you can substitute something else, or you can leave them out. Or if you don't have any, you can get this chili pepper, which is ground jalapeno powder. And this is from Local Spicery from Marysville, California. And we love their spices. And you can use a little bit of it. Like I use about 1/4 of a teaspoon usually to make up for not having a fresh jalapeno. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my vegetable broth. This is 1 3/4 cup of vegetable broth. And you don't have to use vegetable broth. It does add a little bit of flavor. But if you don't have vegetable broth, I've also just made it with water. And
Quite a few new people have come on, so if you talk about your post again.
Yeah, so this is Mexican quinoa, black bean, and corn. We're not really calling it casserole, but recipe for the pressure cooker. And I will post it on the blog tomorrow. And so right now I'm just telling everybody what's going in it. So this is 1 1/2 cups of tri-colored quinoa. Now, when you buy quinoa, you need to rinse it unless it says that it is pre-rinsed. And this quinoa from Costco is pre-rinsed, which I love. You don't have to pre-rinse it. But the tri-colored one from the Whole Foods, from the bulk bins, is not pre-rinsed. So you have to rinse it because it has this little white coating on the outside of it, and that's kind of bitter. And if you don't rinse it with cold water, the end result will taste kind of bitter. And so you just put it in a very fine mesh sieve and run cold water over it at first, but you'll see the water comes out cloudy. But as that little coating dissolves, then your water will start to look clear. And when it starts to look clear, then you know that you're good to go. So I'm just going to put that in there. Now, by using the saute function at the beginning of this recipe, that heats up this broth and the ingredients I'm putting in it, and that will help it come to pressure quicker because everything's going to already be hot. Now, this is 1 can of organic diced fire roasted tomatoes, and these are no salt added. If you use salt, that's, up to you. And you can get the ones that have salt. I like the fire roasted. They do not have any heat to them. They just have more flavor. Just that little bit of roasting brings out the flavor. Now, this is 1 can of black beans that are already cooked, and I rinsed and drained them, and you can get no salt added. So you can either use a can or a box. The box is 13.4 ounces, and I believe the can is 15 ounces, so not a lot of difference. And if you have home-cooked beans, just use your home-cooked beans. And I didn't have any thawed out today, so I'm just using the canned. And then this is 1 1/2 cups of frozen corn that I thawed out, because if it's thawed out, then it's not going to take as long to come up to temperature. If I put the corn in frozen, which I could, it would take longer for it to come up to temperature. And then I have my seasonings, and I'm going to go ahead and put these in. And I'll tell you what they are in just a second. And now I'm going to stir this before I put the lid on it. And then we're going to set the time. And I just want to get it good and stirred because I want to make sure that that quinoa gets cooked. And you see how it's already nice and hot. Okay, I'm going to get the lid on there, Tom.
What size pressure cooker are you using?
Yeah, this is a 6-quart. Okay, so now I'm going to...
Hold on, let me catch up.
Okay. And since the buttons are all different on this one, I'm still figuring it out. So I'm going to push cancel because that's going to stop what I'm doing. And now I'm going to push pressure cook. And the neat thing about this, and Tom's going to tell you about it, it automatically seals. So you don't have to remember to do that. So I'm going to push pressure cook, and it's on high. And I'm not going to, it can automatically release the pressure. And it was set for 5 minutes. So I'm good to go.
5 minutes is good.
Yeah, that's what I needed. And it remembers what setting you had on it the last time you used it.
Sorry about the shakes, people.
It's a little shaky when he's doing it live. But that's the beauty of the live versus the edited, right? Okay, so now you guys want to know about the spices. So maybe if I can hand you these dirty dishes, or if I just push them up there, are they out of the way? Now when it's all done, I'm going to add some fresh cilantro and then some fresh lime juice. And you can either add the zest and the juice of one lime to all of it at once, or you can wait and just use a wedge of lime and add the juice as you serve it. And it can be served hot or cold or room temperature. It's very versatile. So I'm going to move that. And I mixed this tri-colored quinoa was so dark. You notice how dark this one came out. And I like it to have a little more of the lighter color. So I actually did 3/4 of a cup of the light one from Costco and 3/4 of a cup of the tri-colored. And I like the tri-colored because I think it adds a lot of color and it's pretty. So I like that. Okay, so let's talk about the seasonings, shall we?
Sure. Let's talk about seasonings.
I know.
Is that a prompt? I missed it.
I sound like an old person. Okay, so if you don't have fresh jalapeno, remember that you can get jalapeno powder. And this is a really nice one from Local Spicery. Costco used to sell one, but I haven't seen it there for a couple of years now. And you can also buy it like at the regular grocery store. I've even seen it like at Safeway. And it's just ground jalapenos. Or you could dehydrate your own and then grind them. But I've talked to a couple people who did that and said it really made their house smell a lot like jalapenos. So it uses 1.5 teaspoons of ground cumin. And this cumin is so good. This is from Local Spicery. And if you put our name, we don't have an affiliate with them, but if you put our name in the comment section at the checkout, you can get 2 free sample spices from Local Spicery, and their web address is localspicery.com, and Tom can put that in the comments. And you can even tell them which 2 spices you want to try, and we have a video all about Local Spicery, so you can read about them. And then it also has a teaspoon of chili powder, and this is the 365, which is the store brand from Whole Foods, and I really like this one because it doesn't have salt in it, and so this is really good. And I went there today. They only carry the big bottles of it, the big containers, in the winter months, and so I bought 3 of them today because I use this in recipes all year long, not just in the winter time. And so I really like the flavor that one imparts. And then it also has a 1/4 teaspoon of chipotle chili powder. Now this one is the chili pepper morita chipotle. I'm probably saying it wrong. I'm probably butchering it. From Local Spicery, and it's wonderful. It just has a lovely flavor to it. But you can find chipotle chili powder at most grocery stores in the seasoning section. Now it also uses, and 1/4 teaspoon to 1/2 teaspoon. So in the batch that I made earlier today, I only used 1/4 teaspoon. But sometimes if I want things spicier, I'll use 1/2 teaspoon. So it's up to you. And then a little bit of smoked paprika. This is different than sweet paprika because this has that smoky, kind of like barbecue flavor to it. And I just used like a quarter of a teaspoon. You could use a little more if you want, or you could use less, or you could leave it out, or you could just use regular paprika if you don't like the smoky flavor. And I know some people don't like it, and you can adjust the seasonings. You need to stick with the ratio of water to quinoa that I have in this recipe, but in order for it to cook properly in the pressure cooker. But you can adjust the spices to your own liking.
The questions come up since that's busy making noise over there.
Yes.
While it's coming to pressure, it is normal for some steam to be letting off until there's enough steam pressure to pop the little like it just did. So yes, that's normal when it's coming to pressure. And okay, yeah, the little red button is up. So
it is. The button is up. Okay. So I have to tell you a funny story. We were teaching one of our in-person cooking classes, and it was our Mexican Fiesta cooking class. And we made a whole meal, and then everybody got to taste it. And I was asking the participants, do you like it? Well, one lady in front said, "Oh my gosh, this is like way too spicy for me." And then another lady eating the exact same thing in the back of the room, she said, "Are you kidding me? This has no flavor. This isn't spicy at all." And they were eating the exact same thing. So we have a wide range of taste preferences. And so feel free to change the amounts or the types of spices that are used in a recipe. A recipe is just an idea for you, and you can take it from there and personalize it. You can, if you like a hotter dish, use a hotter pepper or use 2 jalapenos. If you don't like any, don't use any. Leave out the more spicy spices, and you can make it however you like. If you don't like cilantro, you could throw in some parsley instead. So kind of make it your own. So let me go over what was in this again, because I know I'm awfully hard to understand today. Was 1.5 cups of chopped onion, 1 diced jalapeno, 4 cloves of garlic, and 1.5 cups of quinoa that was rinsed, 1 3/4 cup of water or vegetable broth, 1 14.5 ounce can of organic fire roasted diced tomatoes, 1 can or 1 box of black beans, or you could use pinto, or you could use kidney, rinsed and drained, 1.5 cups of frozen corn that I thawed out, or if you only have canned, use canned. And then 1.5 teaspoons of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1/4 to 1/2 of a teaspoon of chipotle chili powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of smoked paprika. And then at the end, you can add the juice and the lime zest from 1 lime and about 1/2 cup of cilantro, or more if you like more. And then different ways that you can eat this is it's delicious just like this in a bowl, or put it over a chopped salad and add some of my Tammy's Easy Red salsa. And I just made this like 10 minutes before we went on air. It takes literally 5 minutes to make. And I even had time to wash the blender before we got started. Super easy and delicious because it uses canned tomatoes. And that recipe is on the blog. It's also in my Mexican Fiesta cooking webinar. You can use this for a taco filling. So take corn tortillas and fill them up with a little bit of the quinoa mixture. Put some shredded lettuce, or we like shredded cabbage on there. And again, some of Tammy's Easy Red salsa, and it's delicious. You can also take it hiking with you. We like to take a dish like this, put greens in the bottom of our container. We'll take a plastic container because it's lightweight, and then put the quinoa mixture on top of it, and then, put a fork in there and a little bit of salsa. That's all we need. And if you like the California balsamic vinegars, they have a really hot one called the habanero, or they have a mild one that is sweet heat. That's also delicious. Put over it as well.
That would go good in the hot, hot mode into like my big lunch thermos.
Yes.
Or a hot
To have it
take
hot.
to work lunch, or if you want to carry the weight of the
Thermos.
thermos on a day hike, then you would have, on a cool day, it would be fun to have a hot Beanwah lunch
A
out
hot
on the trip.
Beanwah.
Hot
I
Beanwah
love
lunch.
that. So are you going to do a close-up of the
Yeah, I'm coming around.
Mexican?
I'm coming around to the camera here.
The Beanwah. I love the Beanwah. It just makes me laugh and smile every time I say it. I love it.
Okay, you're on camera.
Okay, you see it. And then what I do is I just kind of fluff it with a fork. Now see, I like this one much better because it's got more of a lighter color quinoa in there. But see, doesn't that look great? And then I'll stir in my cilantro, and I'm not gonna put the lime juice in all of it. I'm gonna wait, and we're just gonna add lime juice as we dole it out, whether we eat it on a salad. Now, I love to take and chop my salad, my 1 pound salads that I batch prep, and then take this mixture and cold from the fridge and put it on top of it, and then add extra salsa and lime juice. And it's so good. It's so filling and satisfying. And I'm going to share some of this with our daughter tomorrow, because we'll go over to help with the kids tomorrow and take some of this, because I've made 2 pots of it now today. If you wanted to double this recipe, I think you'd have to do it in your 8 quart. I don't think that the 6 quart will hold it all. I haven't doubled it myself yet, but I would do it in the 8 quart, because as you can see, it's up about probably a good 3/4 of the way just on this one. So somebody had a question and wanted to know, they bought the nutmeg grinder that I use, and what do I use nutmeg in? Well, the curry butternut squash, curry ginger butternut squash soup recipe that you get when you subscribe to the blog uses nutmeg in it. So that's an exclusive recipe just for subscribers. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe to Nutmeg Notebook. You just go in and enter in your email address, and then automatically you get an email that's computer generated, and it gives you a link to go and print the 2 exclusive recipes. And you need to check your junk email, because that's usually where it seems to land, in everybody's junk email, because you don't have us listed as a contact in your email yet. Also, in the dessert recipes that are on the blog, so the quinoa banana oat muffin mix that has fresh nutmeg in it, or you can use the dried, but I use the freshly grated. And then all of the recipes that are that use that mix, because I have lots of different dessert recipes that use that, and so you're using the fresh nutmeg.
Were you going to plate this up, or with the new color? Did you want a white plate?
Yeah, if you want it, or maybe a little bowl like those. Yeah, that'd be good. Thank you. So I love nutmeg, and the fresh nutmeg is just so amazing. Oh, this smells good. There you go. You know, quinoa people are always worried about protein, and we don't need to worry about protein on a plant-based diet. But quinoa has a lot of protein in it. So there you go, isn't it? It's just lovely. So there you go. We're going to be eating a lot of this week. Oh, I think we could freeze it. I think it would freeze pretty good too.
Yeah, it would.
And then we'd just squirt some fresh lime juice on it.
So yeah, this has a much lighter color. So I'll come up here to you guys.
I like that one better. It's prettier.
And very, very hearty. I mean, this is so filling.
It's
when
so
you
filling.
get done eating this, you have had a meal.
Yeah, like we had a couple little dishes of it this morning when I made it, and then I couldn't eat. my lunch. I made my chopped salad for lunch and I ate about a third of it. I just couldn't eat it. I was full. So, but I think that this one, I like the color of this for taco filling with the darker red. And so those are good. So any other questions?
Yeah, Lisa's asking if I use mushroom coffee to get off of caffeine. And actually, no, I did a titration method. It's in one of our
Tuesdays with
Tuesday
Tammy
with
Live.
Tammy Lives back
In the summer.
in the summer. We were sitting
June,
outside.
maybe,
Yeah, if
June.
you go back down to thumbnails, you just scroll back down on the roll of videos and watch for one where there's like greenery, because we're outside sitting on a picnic table next to our little outdoor coffee table.
Yeah.
We sat next to the little outdoor coffee table and talked about how I got off coffee. That's classic. So, but yeah, I slowly tapered down.
Maybe it's a tea table.
It's a tea table now, yeah.
It's a tea table.
So if only using Kirkland quinoa in the recipe, how much is used in the recipe?
The same.
Yeah,
1.5 cups.
okay. All right.
You would just use the same, and you don't have to rinse it. And the water, the amount of water you use is just the same.
So let's see.
See if we missed any questions.
Yeah,
We were doing
yeah.
good.
You were talking about this vegan bundle, 90 plus vegan recipes. I don't know what that is.
You know, that's something that Chef AJ's doing. I forget who's doing it. But there's a bundle. It's supposed to be worth a few $100s.
Oh.
And you get like a lot of ebooks and I don't know, podcasts and different things in it.
Okay.
I haven't looked at it because I'm just not good at buying those and then actually using them.
Yeah. Gloria,
I'm not a big fan of e-cookbooks.
Yeah, Gloria Culp says she noticed that we have a grand piano. Who plays Tammy or Tom? That wasn't on this video though. That might have been on one of the earlier ones when you were sitting at the table in the dining room, because we don't have a grand piano in the kitchen. I try to play sometimes.
He plays beautifully, actually. He does. Oh, on the vegan bundle, I want to say it looks like it's a really good value. And if you're the kind of person that will, you know, read ebooks and you like e-cookbooks, then, you know, it's a smart thing to do because you're getting hundreds of dollars worth of product for a very small amount of money.
Okay, let's see. Sandra, can you go over the seasonings? I somehow have 3 chili powder types. She wrote down 3 chili powder types. She is going to post the full recipe and with specific ingredients on the blog, which will be on the nutmegnotebook.com blog tomorrow as the most recent post. But do you have a comment on the 3 chili powder, the chili powder type you used?
Sure.
Oh, Gloria said that we were doing a pantry tour and we were walking, that one when we went mobile, we were walking around the house and going out to the...
But we went that way. How did we see the piano?
I don't know. We'll have to check that out.
That's so weird.
Fun.
Okay, so I said that we used chili powder, just regular, like chili powder that you would use for making regular chili. And that was a teaspoon. And then chipotle chili powder. This is the one that I buy from local spicery. And it says chili pepper morita chipotle, M-O-R-I-T-A chipotle. So this is a chipotle chili powder, the local spicery one. And then the smoked paprika. And you could use any brands. I'm just showing you what I used. And this is the local spicery smoked paprika. And then ground cumin. And this is their ground cumin. And then there's jalapeno powder, which is really nice to keep in your pantry if you don't always have a fresh jalapeno on hand, which I don't always. And so I'll fall back on the jalapeno powder. So I hope that helps. And I'll have the recipe will be posted tomorrow on the blog at nutmegnotebook.com, and you'll be able to print it. I'll get that. I can type that up tonight. It doesn't take a lot of energy to do that. And so I'll do that tonight for you guys. So any other questions, Tom?
Yeah, we got the last one I'm checking right now about Amazon selling the multi-pot, and the answer is yes. And I'm putting a,
Oh, yeah.
you don't have to, you don't, the $5 coupon and stuff wouldn't apply there. And we have it's in the show notes down below. When you put Nutmeg Notebook in the coupon box, if you're getting one of these, then they take $10 off of the price. And the price, so you have to compare that to what the current price is on Amazon versus their current price.
Yes.
I can't say them here because they change.
And our coupon code does not work on
at
Amazon.
But I am putting a Amazon code down in the description here, so it'll be there. Let's see, Amazon store, and I'll put it right here underneath the Amazon store. Paste. So this is going to be
Thank you.
Milty Pot at Amazon.
Okay.
So I did our affiliate link there on the Amazon page, so you can see if you've got an Amazon gift card or something, then if you got a $50 gift card, then that $10 is something you can maybe let go and cash in on a gift card. So
Absolutely.
So I try to do that whenever we can, even if it is a direct item. I try to find an Amazon link as well for people. I'm going to push say. Okay, you'll need to refresh your browser if you want to see that link for it to show up. And I'm going to go back to the video and get off of there. Okay, I think, when is your vegan cruise? It's coming right up, Jamie. Yeah, it's going to be in a couple of weeks. Yeah. So we're really looking forward to that. We might be doing a Facebook Live here or there just to say hi. I don't know if there's enough bandwidth to do YouTube Live. I'm going to sign up for one of their internet packages, and then we'll have to see how it goes.
I'm glad this happened now.
And not then, yeah.
Oh, not on the cruise. Let's hope.
Yeah. So Gloria has a question. Let's see. Stephanie is first here. Do you feel the seasonings and spices should always be organic, or just be sure not to have added other ingredients besides what the spice or seasoning you are buying is?
Yeah, I try to buy as much organic as I can, but not everything is organic, and it's not cost effective to buy all of my spices organic. Like this 365 chili powder is not organic. I can get this whole container for the same cost of a little tiny one that is organic. And although I don't think these all say organic, they are very cautious and careful about everything that they purchase to mill at local spicery, and I trust them completely that they're buying the highest quality and the products and the raw ingredients with the least amount of pesticides, because they're very conscientious.
Yeah, he's pretty tuned into what his sources, where his sources are getting their stuff.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, I mean, in the perfect world, everything that I consume would be organic.
But the world's not perfect.
The world's not perfect.
Gloria is mentioning that she did, that we showed the carrier that looked like a purse but was thermal, and you could carry a potato in it. So she ordered a carrier, and now she carries a potato in her thermal carrier.
Awesome.
So
that's great. Thank you for letting us know that, because we take potatoes with us all the time. We went to Veg Fest in Sacramento on Saturday, and we took our sweet potatoes with us to have for our lunch.
Yeah, we had a full meal there. We didn't eat any of the vegan junk food.
We ate all of our own food, took our own food.
All right, well, Missy, it's been an hour, so we need to say goodbye and get some tea on you, because I think you said potato, but the only thing that came out was toe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the rest was silent.
I'm sorry, you guys. I would not have done this video if we hadn't posted that we were going to do it. Because
a commitment made is a commitment kept.
That's right. So sorry to put you through this. I hope you could hear enough to understand what I was saying.
Okay, so she's Tammy.
Well, you're going to do the wrap up though and say the things that I say about subscribing.
Oh, okay. All right. Down below the video is a subscribe button, and that's how you get and a bell. And you click on subscribe and hit the bell, and that's how you get notifications when we are going to go live again. You get a little ping that lets us know that we're coming on.
Give us a like.
And if you would, before we close off in the next few seconds, hit that thumbs up. That helps convince YouTube to suggest this whole food, plant-based, healthy lifestyle eating video to more people, perhaps new people that are just curious about the whole food, plant-based lifestyle, or curious about what kind of recipes or what kind of food could we possibly be eating. And actually about 50% of every video viewing is from people getting those recommendations from YouTube because of people like you giving a thumbs up and helping spread the word on the whole food, plant-based diet. So
share the video.
Save the animals, save the planet, save yourself. Or what we say is get healthy and stay healthy one meal at a time.
And they can share the video.
And please share the video with the little share arrow onto your favorite groups. So anyway, you're Tammy. She's Tammy, and I'm Tom. And we help you get healthy and stay healthy one meal at a time. Thank you for watching. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.